Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another Dragon Ball figure news video, and holy cow, buckle in boys, because this is going to be an extremely long one. In the past 2 weeks we have had so much figure news drop. We literally had figure news drop like right after I posted my figure news video from 2 weeks ago. We had the TAMASHII Nations event, which announced a bunch of upcoming stuff for SH Figure Arts. We've had a bunch of figure announcements. We've had some figure releases to see the final product of some figures. This video is going to be nuts, so stick around to the end. Thank you guys again so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get into it. I might try and go a little bit faster than I normally do, just because of the fact that well, there's a lot to cover here today. There's a lot to cover here today, and I mean a lot. So let's go ahead and get into it. We did have the announcement of the first form Frieza, which was very exciting. As you can see, his quote, bro, my fighting power is 530,000, but of course I don't want to fight you at my full power, so don't worry. Now available in SH Figure Arts under the supervision of Akira Toriyama. So apparently this is a first from what I understand for SH Figure Arts. Apparently Toriyama himself actually overlooked the creation of this figure, which is very cool, because I don't think they've ever done that before. I would love if they would keep doing that, because that would be awesome to have Toriyama's input, since, you know, he's the man who made these characters, right? Under the supervision of Toriyama, the main body and the inside of the Frieza pod were precisely modeled. In addition to 4 types of replacement and facial parts, effect parts for reproducing supernova are included. 2 patterns can be reproduced, one with the scouter attached and one with the scouter removed. When boarding the Frieza pod, the upper body is attached to reproduce detachably reproduced to reproduce the size and balance in play. Thank you, funny translations. There's also a new figure, as they have been releasing Final Form Frieza as well as Golden Frieza for a while now. Obviously, we've not had a first form Frieza yet. This guy is 88,000 yen with a release date of April 2021. So this guy will probably be around 90 bucks here in the US with a release date of 2021 in May. I like the pod accessory, and here we'll wonder if Final Form Frieza will be able to fit in this as well. Let us know what you think of this release if you plan on a pre-order. It is available at E-Night Media, not E-Night Media yet, sorry, Big Bad Toy Store. Let me tell you, I am really excited for this. So I don't know how I feel about the face of this guy quite yet. I think his face looks a little bit funny, but one of his faces definitely looks better. This guy is really short, so I'm really glad that they put a ton of accessories into this figure, because honestly, $90 I know is a big price tag for a lot of people, but I honestly think for an SH Figure Arts figure, this guy's worth it. So as you can see here, we have the classic shouting face of Frieza. Again, the mouth looks a little bit too wide to me, but definitely not too bad. I do like the scouter accessory though. This face though, I will say, is perfect. I think this face fits Frieza amazingly. I really like the look of this face. It's so cool. Obviously, this is all iconic first form Frieza poses, and then of course you can see we have the pod here, him with the crazed look on his face, of course. And he's throwing the supernova at planet Vegeta. Very cool. And then as you can see, you get the little mini one, you know, as he's about to throw it there, or if you just kind of want to do poses with it and stuff like that. Here are the different faces close up. We have this smirking face. We have this face, which I guess is kind of another smirking face. We need to call that one a smiling one. But this one, oh my gosh, this one is perfect. I love that one so much. Here's the pod. Apparently it comes with a stand. It doesn't really say that in the information, but that's kind of what this image is leading to assume. And are you ready for something cursed? Oh, wait, what's that, bro? His legs are in there? I will say it does look very nicely sculpted. Oh! So obviously this looks really weird out of context, but of course the whole point of this is that Frieza's body is sculpted into the pod, so then that way you can take the top half of the body off and then you can stick it on Frieza's body in the pod, which is a really cool way to achieve this effect, because obviously with the scaling of the pod and the scaling of the figure, and as well the way that his feet are shaped, it's nearly impossible to actually be able to, you know, finagle the figure to fit it in there. And even so, especially since Frieza has a tail and whatnot, it would be really, really difficult to get him into a proper sitting pose where he wouldn't like look awkward or fall over from balance. So I think that's a great solution. It's cool that they even included the tail, because then you can plug in the bottom of the tail there. They could have totally just not put that part in there, but I'm very, very glad that they did. So that is super cool. I'm actually really, really excited for this figure. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of most of the faces, I really, really like this face. This one I like a lot, and I'm hoping it's not just the angle that makes it look so good. But this guy is going to be perfect to pair with the upcoming SH Figuarts. I believe he's technically out in Japan now, but the SH Figuarts Bardock from the Saiyan Saga, and obviously this scene where he was, you know, taking on Frieza, the Frieza, you know, that scene. So very, very cool stuff here. I'm really excited for this figure, and obviously it's nice to not get golden in final form for once. Always cool stuff. Let's move on. We had a ton of stuff from the Tamashii Nations event here. Oh my gosh, bro. Let me show you some of the cool stuff that we got. So we had a ton of SH Figuarts figures displayed here. As you can see, this is the boy Hit. If you haven't already done so, make sure to check out the limited time Tamashii 2020 online VR event. Bandai revealed that many new figures that we are seeing for the first time. Two of the most interesting prototypes so far have been Hit and Namek Bulma. The latter was predictable since they already have two versions of Bulma, and hopefully they continue this with the Trunks series Bulma as well. Hit, on the other hand, was a bit of a surprise, and he looks pretty good in this. There is a big bug form of Cell display, too, and it's not clear if this figure is just an accessory or a standalone thing. Hopefully, Bandai will make an announcement soon for pre-order for these figures. So this is what Hit looks like so far. This is the only image that we have of him. This is really, really cool. I will say, his face for me looks like just slightly off, just a little bit, and it might just be because there's not enough like shading on it. And obviously Hit doesn't really have eyebrows with the way that his body is. But his sculpt looks amazing. And I cannot wait to see how they achieve the look of the hands in the pockets, because that is a super, super cool feature. Obviously, that is an iconic thing for Hit. And that's kind of not really something that they do with SH Figuarts figures too often. So that is amazing to see that they were able to include that. It does kind of look like that it's like either soft plastic that is molded into that shape and you can't really move it because it's just stuck like that, and then you're able to fit his hands in there, and then maybe you could take those front pieces off and then replace them with a flat look. Or that is actually expanding material where you can actually put his hands in there. It'll be interesting to see what they do for this man. I will say the belt does look a little bit loose in my opinion, which is kind of unfortunate if that is going to be loose on the final figure. But again, keep in mind this is a prototype, so we'll see what happens. Overall though, I do think that this is a very cool looking figure. I love the big boots, the big boots. I love when they do boots on SH Figuarts figures like this. Very cool stuff. They even captured his elbow pads pretty well. Those do look a little bit loose, but we'll have to see what comes of that. Here is the Namek Bulma. Very, very cool to see that we are getting a bunch of different forms of Bulma. Obviously, she has so many different looks throughout Dragon Ball that, you know, it's hard to be able to, you know, pick A favorite, and B, you know, get them all out. But obviously, this is a pretty iconic look for her, considering she was a player in the Namek saga. So very, very cool stuff is for here as well. I think their face does look a little bit funny here, but also Bulma's face just kind of looked funny in that era. So I think it fits her pretty well, all things considered. And then this was the Cell that they were talking about. So this guy was on display. We don't really know if this guy is his own figure or an accessory for like some kind of upcoming Cell. It would be cool if they did a imperfect Cell or a semi-perfect Cell. Semi-perfect Cell is probably my least favorite form, but imperfect Cell is so disgusting that it's cool. So I'd love to see that in figure form. And obviously this is a very, very nice recreation. I love the shading. SH Figuarts doesn't really do shading on their figures a lot of the times, so it's cool to see this detail in here. It does look like there is a little bit of posability in the arms and things here, but it's kind of hard to tell if that's just kind of sculpted detail, so we'll have to see. But those were all very, very exciting releases there. You can see in the picture here was just shown with the rest of the boys. This was also super, super exciting, and this is the line that I personally collect a lot of the figures from. So if you collect the Figuarts Zero line, you should have a full power Janemba figure ready to display next to your Gogeta. This is super exciting. So obviously Gogeta was the newest released Figuarts Zero figure, and this Janemba looks fantastic. fantastic. His face sculpt looks literally perfect. I have no complaints. The sword looks great. I love the effect piece. I love how they did the rocks here. They even got the jelly beans in there, bro. This one looks cut. I love the way that they did where he kind of like fades into those blocks too. A perfect representation of everything that Janemba can do all at once. Oh man, I'm so excited for that. It's going to be really, really cool to see them displaying this guy with Gogeta. I don't know if we can get a figure or a bigger picture of this rather. Obviously this is the Gogeta figure here. So it is really, really cool to be able to display these guys together. Actually, what we can do real quick, let's see, can we look at that website still or no? I kind of assume no, but we'll see in a second here. Oh, okay, I guess you can. That's pretty cool. I just literally wanted to see that one exclusive picture. I don't know if you're able to. No, it doesn't look like it because yeah, it was like a limited time thing while they had the event up. Yeah. Nonetheless, though, oh, venue photo. Oh, now hold up, bro. Click for details, bro. They announced a lot of stuff here, by the way. It was a lot more than just Dragon Ball characters. So they really went ham on all this stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of Demon Slayer and stuff like that here. Nonetheless, though, here we go. So this was the full SH Figuarts booth here. All of these guys are on display. There's the Cell. That thing is giant compared to some of these other figures. That thing is crazy big. I don't know if they're planning on scaling that down a little bit to fit with SH Figuarts, but that will definitely be interesting to see there. Obviously, you can see we have some launch figures here. I don't think launch has been released yet. I could be wrong on that, though. Don't quote me on that one. But she does look pretty good in both forms. Lots of cool stuff here, though, obviously showing off some more recently released, excuse me, I'm getting too excited here, stuff. Here's the Frieza IRL. It looks really, really good. Still, the face looks a little bit too elongated to me, but definitely not too bad. This was also pretty exciting. I don't know why the website didn't cover it here. Oh, I guess they cover it later. Okay, so we'll get into it here then, before we take a look at some more detailed pictures. So this was pretty exciting. With Goku, there isn't much that has already been done. Bandai has already released every one of Goku's forms, but they did show off 2 new Goku prototypes that hasn't been released yet. Those include the Super Saiyan 2 form in an updated body. Super Saiyan 2 also comes with a halo head. Also interesting release in the diorama of Goku's dining table. Not sure how it will be released, but it would look nice to have made a model of the house in front that folds out like the Castle Grayskull from Mattel. Only time will tell. So basically, we're taking a look at this and this. So this was a little set that it looks like they released. Let me just get rid of some of my pictures here. With this Goku eating. We're not really sure if this is just kind of like a little display or if this is going to be like a bigger play set, because to be fair, these do look like just kind of generic like dollhouse sort of items. But if you take a closer look, I don't know if we have a closer look at the face here. No, we don't, unfortunately. Goku has a different face than he does. This is the Saiyan race on Earth Goku, I believe. Obviously, that eating face is usually not present with the figure, so that kind of leads me to believe that this is going to be a whole play set, and it comes with the Goku eating face. That would be really cool and a very nice way to display this guy. It would also be a really cool way to get some great displays of when all of his Z fighters are eating together at very different moments in Dragon Ball Z, so I think that will be a fantastic display. And then we also had this new Super Saiyan 2 head shown with the Angel Halo as well. I don't know how I feel about this face. It kind of doesn't look that good to me. I like the hair sculpt a lot, but the face looks very lacking. This one definitely looks a lot better, though. I really like the lighter hair as well, and obviously, you know, the Super Saiyan 2 imitation here. Kind of interesting, though. Kind of interesting. Not really a fan of either of the faces. I wonder if someone will make a custom face sculpt for these. I assume probably DF will. Or rather, DF will. I thought it was messing up their name there for a second. But yeah, this one definitely looks a lot better in my opinion. Very cool though to see this color scheme on an SH Figuarts figure, because there isn't usually a lot of shading like this, like these lighter whites you can see throughout here, right? They usually just make it like kind of a yellow, unless well, we're talking about that boy right here, which was the Namek Goku. But very cool stuff though. I'm glad to see some Super Saiyan 2 representation nonetheless. So it is very cool. I like it a lot. let's go ahead and take a look at the upcoming Z Fighter figures now. These guys are actually pretty cool. Next up are the Earthling Z Fighters. Most of these are prototypes, have been shown before, including Tien and the Buddhist with the Buddhist sash, and Yamcha with the short hair. What's new here is fully articulating Chaozu. Last version we got was in a static position, meant to depict the scene where he blows himself up and he's strapped to Nappa's back. I wonder, I would have liked to seen a new Krillin here with the new body, but I guess I'll have to wait. So as you can see, we have Tien here. He looks very, very cool. I like the look of Tien. This Yamcha actually looks fantastic. I'm a big fan of the short hair of Yamcha, even though he doesn't really have it for too long, I guess. But I think it's a great look. The gi does look very simple, but I mean, it is anime accurate. It just looks like a lot of orange for the eyes, but I think the head sculpt looks really good. And as you can see, this is a fully articulated Chaozu, because before he had no articulation at all. They shafted the boy Guldo like that, too. So, it is cool, though, that Chaozu is going to get some love in that regard. Let's see. We also have, finally we have the Prince of Saiyans in his base form. I could have sworn that this figure has been released already, but apparently not. Surprisingly, there has only been 2 base form Vegetas released thus far in the SH Figure Arts line, both Saiyan Saga, where he's sporting the old armor, and the SDCC version, but that figure is based on a mistake in the coloring. What I would like to have seen was an Imagination Vegeta, but I guess we'll have to wait a little bit longer to see that. So yeah, there actually hasn't been a base form Vegeta released in just the normal Saiyan armor. I've seen so many customs for this that my brain actually thinks that this is like already been released. But people have just made so many customs of this because SHF has been slacking on this one for a while. But it's good to see. Vegeta's forehead looks huge here, but I mean, it's Vegeta, bro. Well, you know, what can you do? Interesting. Bunch of people selling some SH Figure Arts figures. Let's go back here, though. Let's actually jump to the next page real quick. Yeah, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Let's take a look at more of these close-up images here real quick, because obviously some of them we did not get a good look at. Here are the boys all together. This looks really, really cool with all of them on display here. It'll be nice to get some Tournament of Power scenes, and obviously Hit and Jiren do fight for the Tournament of Power, so that is pretty cool. And we have a look at all the Z Fighters here together. They look really, really cool. This is nice seeing them all like this. Obviously, some of the figures look better than others, but of course that kind of depends on when they released and all that sort of stuff. I really hope that they do a 2.0 Krillin at some point, because Krillin definitely needs it. We have the Goku head sculpt here again. Not necessarily my favorite, but I do see what they're going for with like the, you know, the kind of like the, you know, sort of Goku look. By the way, this looks really good too. This is a picture we saw before. I did want to comment because I didn't get to comment on it before. This figure is obviously unknown, whatever this is going to be. We're assuming that this means that there's going to be a Super Saiyan 4 Goku figure coming up soon. There was one teased in a Tamashii event a while ago. I believe it was a live stream or something like that. And I think was even maybe spotted in the background of some other promotional video a fat minute ago, because that is literally like the only form of Goku that they still have left to do. Obviously, some of the forms that aren't here were SDC exclusives and stuff like that, so cool stuff, though. Very cool stuff. Hopefully we do get a Super Saiyan 4, because that would be sick. I'm sure a lot of people would really, really like that as a figure. And here, this is the other image that I wanted to take a look at. This is the Gogeta and the Janemba next to each other. These guys look really, really cool standing next to each other. It'll be great to be able to pose them together. I will say, Janemba looks a little bit, like, unstable, all things considered. Like, it looks like if you poke him, he'll fall over. So it'll be interesting to see how that figure balances. Gogeta does look pretty good from what I can see. I actually did order that figure myself, so I will be getting that at some point and doing a video on it. Apologies for not having a figure video up this week, by the way, just got busy. There should be one up this week, though. Nonetheless, I believe that should be it for basically everything we're looking at for Dragon Ball. Here's the only other picture that I want to take a look at. This is the close-up of the Goku face with all of these stuff here. It looks really good, and I will be honestly very, very pleased to see this come out, because obviously Goku eating is kind of an iconic thing for Goku, so that will be pretty cool to see. Moving on, let's talk about some statues and stuff like that. Oh boy, we're going to take a little bit more look at this in Baggy's Twitter in a bit, but this was really, really cool. So, we have the update to the ICHIBAN KUJI EX World Protectors A and F prize reveal. Last week we revealed the B and E prize for this series coming out next March, and the A and F prize has been revealed. I believe this is just the yeah, it should be the full. Oh no, it isn't the full pictures. Hold on. Well, I know I'm kind of spoiling you here. I don't know why they didn't. Doesn't look like it's here on their website. Well, we'll see it later in Baggy's Twitter anyway. Basically, as you can see here, update. The last one has been revealed for the series, and it is the same price as A, but with a more orangish color. See the very pictures at the bottom, and hope you enjoyed this reveal. So this was super exciting to see. Obviously, this is the Goku and Gohan eye catch from the Dragon Ball Z, you know, transitions from the commercials. I never thought in my whole life that this would have gotten a figure, but boy am I glad that it did, because it looks really, really good. I feel like it captures that very, you know, Toriyama kind of Dragon Ball happy-go-lucky feel. It looks really, really good. I have already pre-ordered this figure. Pre-orders for some of these figures are up on Amazon already. I'll leave links to those in the description for the ones that are available overseas. But very, very exciting stuff there. There is the eye catch reference, by the way, as you can see. Basically a perfect match. Gohan looks really good. I do think Goku's face is a tiny bit off, but it's not the worst thing. It does look very funny from the back, though, which we'll see a little bit on Baggy's Twitter. These are the smaller prizes for the Kuji. Obviously, we have Raditz, and would you believe it, Farmer with a Shotgun finally got merch. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but it looks fantastic. I might actually have to get this, because it looks really, really good. I don't think I've ever, you know, had a desire for a full-size Farmer with a Shotgun figure, but I think he's perfect for something like this. So it's really funny to see that he's actually getting a figure. Obviously a reference to the scene where he meets Raditz. We did also have Vegito announced as well, a Vegito Blue and a base Vegito. These guys don't look that good in my opinion. Their faces are really off. They look like an American cartoon version of Vegito, which is so weird to say, because like Raditz and Farmer with a Shotgun look like perfect, all things considered. And these guys don't look that good in my opinion, which is kind of funny because the Gogeta from when they were the minifigures in an ICHIBAN Kuji didn't look that good either compared to the rest. And would you believe it? A Goku figure. And this guy actually looks really, really good too. I am definitely going to buy this because this looks so good. I can't believe that Goku got merch before Moro did. That's crazy, bro. But it looks good. I'm a big fan of this minifigure, honestly. It looks really cool. They did a great job with it. Obviously, it's a reference to Goku imagining, you know, Hercule and himself fusing. So, very, very good theme there. Obviously, this one is the last prize version of the figure. If we take a quick side-by-side look here, obviously, one has the more orange gi, literally just the orange gi. Gohan's colors look about the same. He maybe has a little bit more darker yellows on the regular version of the figure. By the way, this is just from the angle. It's not that the figure is actually sculpted different. It's literally just the paint job. But nonetheless, though, it looks pretty good. I will say, I do think that I'm a fan of this one maybe a little bit more, all things considered, just because I think that this color of orange is a lot nicer on the eyes than this like darker one. But the thing is, you know, the last one figures, especially to import them when it comes to Ichiban Kuji, is way overpriced unless the figure is like something unique and definitely worth it. So I would say that importing this guy is not worth it just over the slightly different orange color change, unless you could get him for like the price of a normal figure, obviously. But I think they both look fantastic. Obviously, it's literally just the color preference, but definitely not bad. Which, it's like, it's funny because like I'd almost rather a new figure because then they could do something more unique, but at the same time then it's like, well, now I don't have to chase it. So I don't know. Very cool though. I'm very, very excited about that. Definitely did not expect that to be on the radar upcoming here. Dragon Ball Z Gigantic Series Son Goku and Son Gohan. Interesting. So I was browsing Shonen Jump figure release schedule for Dragon Ball figures and noticed this bit of information in the unscheduled figures. Oh, another Prime Studio Mega House figure. And the second item basically there says Dragon Ball Z Gigantic Series Son Goku and Son Gohan. And this got me interested as I really like the S Plus figures due to their size and general impact in a display. So it got me wondering what it would look like. S Plus hasn't made any gigantic series thus far with two characters together, except for Android 17 seen in the Grand 2 Xenos, but that doesn't really count because they're separate. This doesn't say Super Saiyan, but it can't be the iconic pose of Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Goku during the combined Kamehameha with yesterday's announcement from the prize figures. I was thinking it may be something from the Saiyan series, so here's my guess as what the figure would look like. That'd be really cool. I would love this. I feel like definitely the, I guess you'd call it like kid. He's kind of baby Gohan there. That like look of Gohan definitely doesn't get enough love. It definitely doesn't get enough figures and stuff like that, especially paired with Gohan, or paired with Goku. So that would be really cool. We'll have to see what comes up of that. I'm sure that will be announced later on. Dragon Ball plushes. Cool. Not too much to talk about there. An update to, let's see, the HD cell set. Pre-orders have been announced and it's $209. Don't buy this. Please don't buy this, bro. We talked about this in the last figure news video. The high grade line is way too overpriced for the size of the figures, and they're not actually high grade, bro. They're kind of stinky grade, if I'm being honest. Don't buy them. Moving on. Plex released a new Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta figure for pre-order today compared to a Super Saiyan. Hair stands straight up on this Super Saiyan 2 figure. Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta will ship April 2021 at a cost of 11,000 yen. We'll update when Big Bad Toy Store announces their pre-order, and he'll cost basically $200. We've talked about this line before, the Sophobi line, or Sophibi, Sophobi, Chibi ripoff. These figures are really big, so I suppose the price kind of makes up for it. I actually want to see what Big Bad Toy Store has for the pictures. But as you can see, big boy here. I don't really know anybody who collects this line in the West. It kind of almost feels like more like Hype Beast merch for Dragon Ball, all things considered. And I don't know, this kind of doesn't even look like Vegeta from some angles. Like, you can tell it's Vegeta, but almost kind of just looks like a generic Saiyan armor character. I don't know, kind of weird. But this guy is really, really big. Plex is the brand that does make this. They make some other stuff too. I don't know why they decided this, but as you can see here, it is 9. Oh, I guess it's not even that big. I thought it was a lot bigger. I mean, I guess it's almost a foot tall. 9.84 inches. Interesting. We talked about this line before, though. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, if you really want to collect it, go for it. I do believe he is quite wide, though. So, I mean, he'll definitely have an impact in your collection if you decide to buy him. Let's talk about some more exciting stuff, though. We did have an update for that EX Ichiban Kuji with the different prize figures here. Prize D will be Yamcha, prize B will be Piccolo, and as you can see, we have the boy Tien as well. So this is a really, really good looking Tien figure. I don't think I've seen a Tien figure in a very long time, and not to mention a very good looking one at that. This looks fantastic. Really, really like the look of this Tien figure. Moving on, we have some more angles of him. Obviously, a reference to these panels right here. We do have Chaozu here. I believe what's going to be happening with Chaozu here... Oh, there's two different versions. Interesting. We'll talk about more about Chaozu later because he'll kind of come up... later in our endeavors of scrolling through these different things here. So we'll talk about him a little bit later. But he looks sculpted great, all things considered. So that's good to see. We have Yamcha here as well. I will say, Yamcha and Piccolo are probably my least favorites. I still might get them. I'm not sure. I just don't really like Yamcha's face. It's not the worst. Obviously, he's doing the spirit ball here. And I do think it's pretty accurate to this scene. As you can see, here's the manga panel, and here's the eyes. But the teeth just look like a little bit too big to me on the actual figure. But I mean, it is manga accurate from what we're looking at here, so I don't know. But here's Piccolo, though. His face is also very funny with the way that it looks. I don't know why they didn't go with an open mouth look like they have here. The smirk looks very odd, though. Like, his jaw also kind of looks crooked, I'm not going to lie. But he's got that bald, shiny head, though. That's crazy. But nonetheless, though, even so, I still think this is a good-looking figure overall, and so is the Yamcha. The Tien and Chaozu are definitely my favorite out of all of these. And I think that it's really cool that we're getting some representation of the Z Fighters, considering that they don't get that much love. So very, very cool stuff. We'll see some more pictures of them as well a little bit later. We did have the release of the version 2 Piccolo in Japan here today. Looks like he'll be available in January 2021 for the US. This guy is actually a pretty cool looking figure. He comes with a bunch of accessories, as you can see. You have Piccolo with the cape. You have a bunch of different faces for him. Very, very cool stuff. I don't know how I feel about some of the faces, I'm going to be honest, because I was thinking about getting this guy because I like Piccolo a lot. It is weird, though, a lot of people pointed out, that they gave him red lips. Why? Such an odd choice, and I know for a lot of people that kind of did ruin the look of the figure. Obviously, for this face, you can't really see it because, you know, angry. I do like the sculpted in veins, though. Those do look pretty cool, and even the antenna are articulated, which is cool. This face is also not bad. I really, really like this one. Obviously, this is more of like, you know, combat type of face, but it looks really, really cool. I think it's just his neutral faces kind of look a little bit for me, and the red lips really are not a good look for him. But I mean, the shouting face is definitely not bad. Plenty of hands, of course, a special beam cannon hand. You can also get a mini Hellzone grenade. Look, there's also the crossed arms, which is great because obviously that's an iconic look for Piccolo, and we also do have a chopped off arm piece, which is great because of course this happens multiple times in Dragon Ball Z. This was a pretty cool change too, or a pretty cool addition rather. The cape having just a cover where if you want to have the cape on there, you can. If not, you don't have to have the cape on there. And the cape just has a little cover. He doesn't show a picture of it here, but it looks seamless without the cape on, which is great. And there are also stand pieces, as you can see here, so you can get some flying poses out of this guy as well. Very cool stuff. Definitely not a bad figure, all things considered. We have the Dragon Ball Capsule Figure 5. Gashapon just released their Capsule Figure 5. This collection features all of the boys here. 300 yen at local retailers. I am going to try and get my hands on these Vegetos because they look really good, in my opinion. Super Saiyan 3 Goku looks pretty good as well, but I love the sculpt in the background. We will see these, by the way, in person later on in the video. I told you this was going to be a long one. We're not even off of DBZ figures yet, and it's already been a half an hour. This is crazy. Alright, so here's some more pictures of the new Versus series. Obviously, we have the Goku and Vegeta from the Broly movie. Interesting that they chose those guys to go with Mechi Cabra and God Trunks, because these guys are coming in for the anniversary. They talked about these guys in the anniversary live stream yesterday. Again, check that out if you haven't yet. But interesting that they chose, or actually, I guess it's technically 2 days ago at the time they uploaded this video. But regardless, why Goku and Vegeta with these two? So weird to me, but they do all look pretty good. I believe we'll see some in-person pictures of them later, which later being right now. So let's go ahead and hop over to the boy Baggy's Twitter. We are obviously here back on October 1st because that's when the video was uploaded. We took a look at these prototypes and stuff like that in the last video. All right, so let's go ahead and skip to where we were here. I guess we'll start here because I believe this is when things started. Here are the HQ scans of the November wafer stickers. We've been seeing these for a little bit now, so there's nothing too new here. But these do look really, really cool. And I love these transforming wafer stickers as well. Very, very good stuff. And I love the look of Goku's big hair in his normal form. Even Kaioken is kind of something that we don't see too often, all things considered. Here's the Dragon Ball Heroes ones, though, obviously in collaboration for the 10th anniversary. I love Vegito and Gogeta. Their renders are so funny. It's so funny seeing these guys with these big old heads. But good stuff here. I would absolutely love to get the Dragon Ball Heroes version of these because I would love to get the Gogeta and the Vegito. Wafer candy packaging, as you can see for the Gohan and Cell set with the Angel Goku. I would love to get that Angel Goku as well. February wafer sticker sample picks. Obviously, these are going to be a little bit lower quality. It looks like the internet is doing me dirty at the moment. But as you can see here we can open it in a new tab and we can get a look at it that way. As you can see, we have a blue Kaioken Goku and a Evolution Vegeta, obviously from when they were going forward together, and some very nice Dragon Ball stuff there. As you can see, we have, well, maybe that's not even Dragon Ball in the bottom right corner, but we have Goku the dinosaur there on a white Nimbus, which is interesting, and then we have Goku and Gohan on the dinosaur there. That'll be really cool to be able to get some more clear images of these. Also, we have Goku and Gohan fishing. That is absolutely adorable. I might need to get that one. So cute, bro. That's absolutely adorable. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan looks ridiculous. Holy cow, bro. It literally looks like a 5-year-old drew his hair, and I kind of love it because I don't know how they would have made that accurate otherwise because he has such long hair when that happens. Very good stuff, though. I'm a big fan, obviously, of Buff Trunks and the Cell Jr. Very, very funny, though. I really want that Goku and Gohan, though. It's very, very cute. But these also look really, really good as well. I love Goku and Gohan on the dinosaur. It's so cute. It's always nice when we get stuff like that. We did not see this yet. April was shaping up to be born, and I lived up. Candy is Hero's Gummy. Lame. Well, not the. That's your opinion, though. Me and Baggy are always clashing opinions, which is so funny. But I mean, we still both enjoy the figures at the end. We already knew about FES and Black. Still no G and G Chi-Chi, and yet another Max Medic Goku. And bro, the worst version of Trunks. Oh, bro, get out of here. Nonetheless, though, as you can see, oh well, actually, wait, GT Trunks. Never mind. He's right. As you can see, we have the Goku FES, the Maximadic Goku. This is for April, by the way. The GX Materia Goku Black, we knew about that. That'll be exciting. Glitter and Glamour's 18. GT Trunks for the Ultimate Soldiers line. Figure Arts, Frieza, and the Gummy Heroes. Interesting, interesting. So as you can see, this was the official announcements of these guys. We won't take too much of a detailed look at them because we already took a look at them on the other website. But a definite... very big dub for the boys here. Takamatsu's work looking very good on the TM. Yeah, it was funny. Baggy literally wished for this. Let's see. Moving on up here. Oh, yeah. Here were some of the February versus figures. And we do have an HQ picture of them now. That is actually Mass Saiyan, which is pretty cool. I don't know why they have this weird array of characters. The Versus series is never consistent. They have like 2 characters that pair together, and then they have like 2 characters that maybe pair together, but like the 4 of them don't really correlate. It's weird because this is Super Saiyan 4 Broly. I don't know, kind of weird. So as you can see here, we do have the Chaozu, the smallest master lease in history. That's pretty funny. So it looks like there's going to be 2 versions of this Chaozu. One with this like pointing face, and one with the you know, big happy face there. That's so funny that they that they put it that way. Apparently it's going to be prize E, so that'll be very interesting to see. Yeah, Takamatsu's work again. Very, very cool stuff. Really like the look of that. Obviously, we had the Yamcha as well. I don't know, man. Oh, yeah, this was pretty funny. I really... I'm debating on getting this whole set because it looks so good. But at the same time, like, I just don't care for the look of the face of the Yamcha and the Piccolo. The second place is also listed the same packaging size. These sizes are bizarre, to say the least. Gohan is the same size as the regular prize figure. Meanwhile, Black has such a huge box. Interesting. We talked about the sizing for some of this stuff last time, so interesting to see how that will turn out with the Dokkan figures. Also funny that this line has the DBS logo. Anyway, Japanese release date for the March Kuji is 6th of March. Bad news for Asian fans. If there isn't an overseas release for Asia, then unfortunately they aren't going to be distributed via 7-Eleven, but the same as the other 800 Kujis. Interesting. And obviously this was the Piccolo announcement here. I don't know, man. I'm very torn on the faces of these guys. I will say that is a good point, though. We do get a lot of Piccolo figures when we get Piccolo figures where he has a turban. So it is cool to see them posed and without it. So very, very nice. And the cape, of course. Overseas listings should start in a few weeks, which we'll actually get to that later, bro. As you can see here, we have more pictures of Hit and Janemba. This is basically what we were looking at before. Baggy was just posting pictures of it. There you go. As you can see here, March Ichiban Kuji Dragon Ball lineup. Master Release Son Goku and Son Gohan. We looked at that at the other website. Dragon Archives. Those are the minifigures. Metal pair posters. 6 types. Interesting art towel. We've seen plenty of those towels before. Visual art board. All 6 types. And the last one prize will be the other Gohan and Goku color. Very interesting. Very interesting. So obviously those are basically all the minor prizes. And then the A and the last one. Full March Kuji lineup prize A. The last one, Gohan being different color. Okay, so he's just recapping there. Gotcha, gotcha. Oh, man. So this is where we saw everything get announced here. This is where Baggy, I wanted to note this, right? It's so funny that, like, these guys got shafted. Like, these look really awkward, too. I don't know why. Gogeta definitely doesn't look as bad. But, like, bro, why are they shafting the fusions? I don't understand. Kind of weird when Goku looks better. Very, very much like that, though. Here is a very, very rough picture of some of the other stuff that's going to be in here. Can we, like, zoom in on this and absolutely destroy the quality? Because I would love that. Yeah, you can't really tell what most of this stuff is going to be. We'll have to wait for a clear picture a little bit later. Last two Banpresto World Figure Coliseum Dragon Ball confirmed overseas with 2 dimensions. No release date information though. Yeah, crazy to think that these guys were from so long ago, and they have still not been released in the US yet. I'm not the biggest fan of this Gogeta, all things considered. I think the sculpting is good, but his face also looks a little bit weird for me. The forehead is huge. And Bardock's face also looks a little bit too big for my taste. But the sculpting on the rest of the body is so good, I might end up picking it up anyway. I'm not sure. Very cool, though. That's the animated eye catch that the figure is based off of. Very, very cool to be able to see that. All right, keep on keeping on here. Out-of-the-box release of the Namco Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This guy was obviously a re-release, as you can see. We talked about this in the last video with the Banpresto Special Selection figures. These figures are basically just Banpresto, or well, I guess Bandai technically. It's just like, hey, let's re-release a figure that did pretty well. And I guess they decided to release Forku, which is a bit of an odd choice, considering that, well, Forku hasn't really been doing that well lately. But nonetheless, though, decent figure. Not a big fan of it. I don't have it myself, but all good, all good. BSS, Goku, and Roshi out of the box. These are older figures that were re-released. Obviously, they're on top of the World Tournament stage, which an unboxing is coming on that, by the way. But nonetheless, though, these guys look pretty good. Obviously, the paint job and sculpting is a little bit older in terms of Dragon Ball figures. That's why they kind of have that look. Definitely not bad, though. Again, it's just not as modern. But it is still very cool to see these two guys together, and especially since we don't get that many Goku and Master Roshi figures. I don't think this scales correctly, though, if I'm being honest, but they still look pretty good together. And apparently, speaking of which, the World Tournament set, apparently it's going to get a re-release in Asia next year. I guess it was really popular. Yeah, I got one. I'm still going to review it, I promise. Very cool stuff, though. Moving on to some more figures. Obviously, yeah, there you go. Thank you, Baggy. I stole your joke. I'm sorry. Last month, a set of WCF Volume 7 from Kai sold for $55K and $95K. When it was released, an entire case only cost about $28K. That is crazy. These are obviously some older WCF figures. Obviously, these collectors go nuts for this type of stuff. So crazy to see. So it seems that the FES 12 Kid Goku reuse is actually pre-selling better compared to the Super Saiyan Goku. Just goes to show that for over-commercialized forms, even if something is good / unique release, fans just feel burnt out, which is true. Because we talked about in the last one that this Super Saiyan Goku figure is fantastic, but obviously there's so many Super Saiyan Goku figures that, like, you know, people don't really want to get the man. Which is interesting that the Kid Goku is selling a little bit more. It's good to see, though, because obviously it's good to see some Dragon Ball love. Obviously, this is the art for the, oh boy, Figurized Standard. There we go. My brain literally said, hey, don't remember what it's called. Obviously, this is the Ultimate Gohan, but it does come with a future Gohan head, since their gis are similar. Interesting, though. The art on Figurized Standard is always very, very good. November wafer stickers released next week, so we should get leaks mid next week for the secret rares, because we still didn't know about that yet at this point. Hopefully they're not. Hopefully they are back to being new and not just different versions of existing stickers in the set that we've been getting lately. A metallic version of Bakugo does look very, very cool. Obviously, this was them announcing the Goku figure. I still can't believe this, that they made that. That's absolutely insane that they decided to pick that. Here we go. So here's some out-of-the-box pictures of the Versus Goku. Yikes. The Versus line, as I've always said, is kind of not the best in my opinion. Kind of stinky, all things considered. I don't think it looks that good. The face on Goku looks very inverted and kind of weird. But the sculpt on the rest of the body doesn't look bad for a minifigure. We do also have Vegeta here. His face definitely looks a lot better, even though it's not the best. I do kind of like the look of the eyes, though. Not necessarily the brown painted underline. I mean, I understand what they're going for, but the eye kind of looks like when it like zooms up on Broly's eye and it's shaking in the movie. The paint app is terrible, though. But I mean, this is kind of what you expect for Gashapon figures, is this sort of quality. It is cool, though, that they go back to back very nicely like that. Vegeta's stand is huge, though. That is like crazy big for a figure of that size. Alright, moving on here. So as you can see, here is the last one figure, and what we were really looking for is a comparison between the two. So this is a comparison between the prize A and the last one, left to right, for Gohan's face. I will say, despite liking Goku's orange better on the last one, I do think I like Gohan's face on the regular one a little bit more. And then as you can see, here's the difference in the face for Goku on the last one and the normal one. Funny enough, I kind of like the last one face on Goku a little bit more. I know it's like the differences are basically non-existent. And it also might just be depending on the camera angle, because it does look like this is taken as a little bit more of an undershot, or this is taken a little bit more straight on. So it'll be interesting to see what the final versions look like. I hope we get to see a comparison of them, one next to each other, the last one and the regular one. I will say, though, I don't know if it's just me, but Gohan's face looks kind of like dopey here a little bit. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it just doesn't look like as good as the one on the left. I don't know. And these ones look like really similar, so I'm not sure. But nonetheless, though, still great, all things considered. All right, so this was kind of unfortunate to see. As you can see, the Vegito did end up having the gap, because we saw the gap in the promotional image, and it looks like that he did end up having that in the final one. But I will say, I think we're going to see an out-of-the-bag version, but the sculpt on the background, or I guess the base technically, we'll take a little bit of a look right here too, looks really, really good. I love the look of the Vegeta and the Goku in the background. I think that there's another picture of that coming up later. We do have the last one, Dark, yeah, the long name, Broly. The Dark Evil, Mega, Full Power. Power insane, too much strength, Broly. I think oh boy, let me see. This is, well, he technically doesn't have the Dark Dragon Ball, but I believe that's supposed to be what it's because I think the full meme is, I don't know if Baggy actually got this from me from watching the news video. That'd be kind of funny, but Time Breaker, Super Saiyan 4 Full Power, Dark Dragon Ball Possessed. I think I'm forgetting something. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly masked, but obviously that's with everything on the boy. Nonetheless, though, a pretty good looking figure. I think the face does look a little bit like flat, which is kind of weird. It is obviously just a repaint of the regular version of Super Saiyan 4 Broly, but this figure is really, really cool. I would like to pick this up if I can. I don't know how I'll be able to, and I also still want to get the Super Saiyan God Trunks and the Super Saiyan 4 Broly figure as well. This guy will obviously be a little bit more expensive, though, but nonetheless, still a pretty good looking figure, all things considered. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this popped up, and this is looking bad for Asian fans. Probably means no standard overseas release with the Ichiban show. Probably means in Asia, the Kuji is going to be done as a lottery. The logo popped up for the Dokkan Kuji, and there was no standard overseas release for that in Asia. They're talking about overseas Asian release, by the way, not like overseas for us. Here's the collab poster for the Legends Trunks. Looks pretty good. I still want to get this figure at some point because it is pretty cool. And we don't get Trunks with purple hair too often either. Adverge Motion 1, 3, and 66 minifigures set to release in the US next year. We get random versions of Dragon Ball Adverge, so it kind of doesn't surprise me. Oh, this isn't actually Dragon Ball Adverge. It's like, it's not Shoto. I don't know what this line is technically called. Not that good in my opinion. All things considered, the faces look kind of stinky. They're more like little action figures, all things, and these are more like actual mini figures, but pretty good stuff. And it's obviously cool to see more Dragon Ball Adverge come over to the US. Looks like no proper November Kuji for any Western countries, even shown up on the English version of the overseas site. You only see it if you switch to Chinese, I believe. CN, whatever that language is. Kind of disappointing, but it kind of makes sense because obviously Dragon Ball Heroes stuff doesn't really come over here too often, so I guess if we really want it, we'll have to get it imported, especially since the Super Saiyan 4, well, I mean, yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Broly looks great, but what I was going to say is the Super Saiyan God Trunks is so good. Looks great. All right. Hopefully this is just the start of Toriyama being involved with figures. That other guy has been nothing short of a disaster. Stupid Bardock and Goku voting Super Saiyan 4. Yeah, so anything you know who touches with DB, it seems to be complete and utter disaster. Yeah, so it's the guy, bro. The guy, bro. Basically the guy who ended up being the one who didn't have Goku win the best figure of like ever in Dragon Ball figures with the end of Z Goku, and he was the fan winner, is what he's talking about. And Super Saiyan 4 won. I don't get it, bro. But nonetheless, though, hopefully Toriyama does keep being involved with figures here. We do have some more clear images of all of the gang together here. This is very cool. This is ratios, I believe, is what Baggy's talking about. Gohan and Goku 2, Piccolo 2, Tien 2, Yamcha 1, Chaozu 2, and Dragon Archive 11. This is obviously for in the actual store where you can go in and play the Ichiban Kuji lottery, how many figures they're going to have of it. Dragon Ball Archives, set of 5, and there will be 11 per lot, so super curious what the ratios will be. Fully expecting Farmer and Gotan, that's funny, to be rare, possibly even 1 per lot, in which case their MVs will be ridiculous. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, well, we will indeed. I hope to get them too. Heights confirmed makes more sense, so let's see. Let's take a look at this here. Goku and Gohan 14. I don't believe I've been saying this wrong in every video. It's not centimeters, bro. I don't know what the actual measurement for this. I need to look it up. If someone wants to leave a comment, they can correct me. Please do, because this is centimeters for me, but there's no way that it's 14 centimeters big, because it's not that big, or it's not that small rather. Nonetheless, though, here are all these sizes. In terms of scale, though, obviously this makes a lot more sense, even if I don't understand the measurement. The number makes a lot more sense. The Chaozu is a lot smaller. Tien is not the biggest one. Piccolo is the biggest one, which makes sense because he should be the biggest one. Funny enough, Goku is actually the smallest besides Chaozu. Very interesting. Alright, I do have some sad news, though. Let me actually say it while we're on this screenshot. At the moment, it does look like that only these 4 are coming to the US. Chaozu doesn't seem to be coming to the US, which is really unfortunate. And it also seems like that the Dragon Ball Archive figures also aren't coming to the West as well, or Dragon Archives, rather. So we'll have to import those if we really want them, which is kind of a shame. But, hey, what are you going to do? At least we're getting some of it. Alright, so we have some secret rares, and they're really good. Obviously, this is based off that one V-Jump cover. We have this as a wallpaper in Dokkan. It's fantastic. People love this art. There's literally the gang coming through and posting it right there. Super cute, though. I love this in chibi form. Funny enough, Chi-Chi's face almost doesn't look any different than it does on the sticker. Neither does Gohan, but Goku's definitely looks a lot more chibi. And this was also very cool. This is the other secret rare, Frieza getting chopped in half. Very, very cool. I like that a lot. Obviously, we don't get too much merch of this. I would love if they did a Frieza and Trunks figure combined, because we have a great Band Press World figure, Coliseum Trunks, from the scene where he's winding the sword back, but I would love a figure that could connect, where it's like Trunks cutting Frieza in half and the figure's actually like slid in half for Frieza. That would be really cool. Nonetheless, though, very cool stuff for the wafer stickers. Blank production images of the smaller prizes from the Asian Ichiban Kuji, which, if my understanding is correct, fans are able to draw. Now, I think it looks like they're more and more unlikely that Asia will have a standard overseas release, unfortunately. We did see some very scuffed images of these before, but obviously not completely. I believe this might be the first time that all 3 wafer products are releasing in the same month. That is true, because obviously we have a bunch of different ones. If you're wondering on the difference, by the way, of these, I believe how this goes is that these are, oh boy, how does this work? I think, no, because they're all in the box. I'm not sure the difference between the 2 types. If you want to correct me in the comments, because it's very hard to remember. I want to say Gashapon and Candy, but that doesn't seem right to me. Unless it is. This seems like Gashapon figures that you got out of an actual Gashapon figure, and this is like candy figures. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. November Kuji promotional poster, and basically it has half the amount of stores in Tokyo compared to last month's Omni Nimbus Kuji. Given how this is also DBH, don't expect lots to be clear quick, so expect values to be higher on the market compared to the last months. Very interesting to see how this one will go. Obviously, Dragon Ball Heroes is a very interesting thing because it kind of makes sense that only, you know, Japanese fans would get the most of this stuff. Gogeta and Rose are releasing in the US, though, so if you would like to pick up those figures, you can. I'm probably not going to get either of them. I do like the Rose, but I don't like it enough to buy it, basically. I do hope to get these 3, though, mainly the Trunks. And we do have him right here. I know, Baggy's hating, bro. Baggy always hates when other characters get Super Saiyan God and just doesn't like Dragon Ball Heroes in general. But, bro, the sculpting on this guy is fantastic. I really, really like the sculpting on this guy. From Chinese versus Omni-Nimbus promotional poster, looks like the Ichiban Shu branding is sticking, even though there isn't standard Ichiban show releases for Asia. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, because it's literally just like the text of Ichiban Kuji changed there. So, to any new followers, figure releases were never this convoluted. A few years ago, if something released overseas, it more or less meant everyone got it. But now we not only have West and Asian exclusives, but even exclusives within the West. For example, Europe got October Ichiban Kuji figures. US didn't. US got Gogeta and Black from the November Kuji. Europe got nothing. Asia getting 10th anniversary UI Goku figure, and US and Europe isn't, which is a real shame because I feel like that figure would go crazy. Again, if you watched the Heroes live stream last night, or 2 nights ago now, you would have seen that figure, and it looks great. I want to get it. There's 3 versions of it. I really want to get the Chrome version. I don't know if that's technically the technical term, but hey, that would be really cool. Legends collab, Vegito got random spike of pre-order increases in the US, it seems. Did I miss something? Did Legends something get announced? No, actually. It is kind of weird that this happened. I did see this tweet myself. Nothing really Vegito related got announced in Legends recently. So it's kind of interesting to see. I honestly think it's just because Legends players probably just want the figure. And I mean, all things considered, it is a pretty cool Vegito figure. So nice to see that, though. I'm very excited about this one in particular. US folks, Grandista Nero Super Saiyan 3 Goku's back in stock on, oh boy, what's the technical name of this website? I don't remember. BIOH. Blow it out of here. That's what it is. For $22 minus shipping and taxes. And then for the UK, it is $27. Also have a bunch of regular prizes in stock with no additional shipping. Rizuden Black Trunks. Kaioken Goku, wow. Creator X Creator Goku, Masenko Gohan, and Eden Goku. Unfortunately, the Gohan is sold out already. I actually just got mine in the mail from when I ordered it from when the last time they had it in stock. The shipping took a really long time, but I'm really excited to open this figure. I have it literally right behind me, so that review will be coming eventually. Alright, looks like the March Kuji released as a full Kuji to draw in Australia too, along with Asia. Now just waiting on information to see if there is an overseas release for US and Europe for the figures. Both got the Dokkan Kuji, so hopefully they should get this. To avoid confusion, it's so complicated, man. Like, Ichiban Show is still being used for Ichiban Kuji in Asia, so I can't refer to the standard releases as just Ichiban Show. And then he got sold out, bro. It was so quick. And so did Amazon UK. This guy's been a little bit hard to find, but I'm glad I was able to pick one up. So, Zaval, I don't even know how to pronounce that now, bro, has listed Ultra Soldiers Vegeta for a re-release at the end of November. More random re-releases seems on par for the course more lately. Kind of weird that he's the only one getting a release and not Goku. This is a good figure, though. I definitely recommend picking it up if you're a fan of Broly Movie Vegeta. I mean, if you're a fan of Broly Movie Gogeta too, I guess. Promo artist, yeah, kind of stinky for both of these, not gonna lie. Moving on. Oh yeah, so this was cool. This was the upcoming V-Jump cover for this month's V-Jump. As you can see, the interesting thing about this is that it's Yamamuro UI Goku in the Broly Movie Gi. Lots of different combinations there, so very, very interesting to see. I don't know if we have a higher quality image of that coming up later, but so here are the different angles. Yes. So this is what I was really excited to show you. As you can see, we have the updated production images from different angles for these figures. ICHIBAN Goku looks very, very weird from this side. You can see he kind of looks a little bit creepy from that angle, all things considered. Gohan looks pretty good, though. Obviously, from the back, it looks good. And it makes sense that they didn't shaft the back of the figure because, I mean, well, it's a 3D object for one. And, I mean, it would look kind of weird to not color in the rest of his body detail because this is the first figure that we've had in a while besides maybe Creator X Creator where you're looking mostly at the back of the figure. But nonetheless, though, still cool stuff to see. Here is the boy Piccolo from a couple of different angles. I do like the angles, though. I don't know how I feel again about the face. I'm going to keep saying that. Like, bro. Come on, man. What did you do to my man's jaw? What is this garbage? What am I looking at here, bro? Come on. Nonetheless, though, from other angles, it's not too bad. Zooming in here as well, you can also see, like, that's not terrible. From other angles, though, too, you can see a lot of the nice detail in his arms and in the clothes and stuff like that. So that is pretty cool to see as well. Here we have Tien. From this angle, it looks really weird. It almost looks like he's kind of falling back, but Tien looks really good from all angles here. I really, really enjoy this figure a lot. Not too much to say. Muscle definition is great. Pants are great. Stuff like that. Yamcha also looks pretty good from a bunch of different angles. It's always nice to get a long-haired Yamcha figure. I don't know. I'm still debating on picking these guys up or not. We'll see. I'm sure that they won't be too hard to find, all things considered, for overseas releases. I've already pre-ordered Goku and Tien, though, and I believe these are just, higher quality individual, or not actually higher quality, sorry, just cropped individual versions of the pictures. Yeah, Goku looks so weird from the side, but from the back, it looks fine. So very interesting. These guys do look great, though, and it's always, again, great to see Z Fighters getting some love. Let's move on here. So yeah, US confirmed for standard Ichiban show, which is really cool. Again, I will leave links to those in the description if you want to pick them up on Amazon for like 36 bucks a pop. Very, very nice stuff there. Oh yeah, Chaozu's always sacrificing himself. True, which is true because, well, what we're going to see in this tweet right here looks like Chaozu isn't releasing in the US, unfortunately. So I'm going to try and get that guy imported because obviously you can't have a TM without a Chaozu. And I mean, the Chaozu figure is probably like the only Chaozu I'll ever own. It's one of the best looking Chaozu figures we've ever had. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get that. Obviously the last one figure I'm not too worried about. And Dragon Archive was kind of an obvious one for, not coming over here in terms of the West. Europe has a completely different distribution method, so those things may not necessarily drop the same time. There's plenty of November left too, though. Re-release in Asia for the DB Historical WCF. Why Japan kept the names? No idea. Very interesting, though. DB and WCF isn't Japanese, so like why the original, why are the Japanese name kept? Yeah, I don't know. Kind of interesting. Nonetheless, though, always cool to see some Dragon Ball stuff get released. I really want to get this set, actually. I really want to get like all of the Dragon Ball Z manga someday and like put it on a shelf and then get all these figures and put it next to it. Because like some of these guys, like that Krillin, bro, so good. He's perfect. I love that Krillin. So as you can see, here is a picture of the regular Super Saiyan 4 Broly. This guy looks really, really good as well. I love the sculpting on Broly's, I don't know what you would call that, cloak? Something like that? It's really interesting to see as well that you can see the red coming through his pants. And his white pants, like, almost kind of look translucent, even though they're not. Kind of weird. There's a lot of great sculpting detail on the fur as well. You can see some veins popping out on his body as well. Face looks pretty good. Very crazed look. The hair looks good too. There's even some shine on the boots. I definitely want to see if I can't pick this guy up because he is really, really cool. Good stuff here, though. Good stuff. And then obviously we have the high quality images of these. Since we've been going through these images for a little bit now, I'm not gonna, make you go through them too much again. But of course, if you want to take a look at all this stuff for yourself, you can do so at the link in the description. Of course, everything that I take a look at, I always leave a link to all of the sources in the comment section in the description below. I don't know, bro. The more I look at this Yamcha, the more I get used to it. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the boy. As you can see here, Baggy was announcing that the listings have been announced in the US. So Happy's Goku's loose Obi belt was included in the front, which is true. It's nice to see that it was actually sculpted in on the front side and they didn't just take that out. Good to see that they're actually putting a lot more effort into the Kujis because, for a little bit there we were having some kind of stinky stuff, but it's good to see that they are, they're doing good. Apparently, Grandista Nero Gogeta will release in Asia on November 16th, so coming very soon. There's a fake packaging mock-up going around. The figure isn't out yet. I don't know. I'm still debating on getting this guy because I really like the Super Saiyan Blue version of this figure, and this looks really, really cool. But for 36 bucks, I don't necessarily think this guy's worth it. I don't know why they started overpricing the Nero figures, because the Vegeta was literally, like the base Vegeta Nero figure was literally the same price as Goku. Or rather, sorry, the regular Grandista figures, I guess that includes Goku. I don't know why even the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which has like a whole head of hair extra and even an accessory, wasn't even that expensive. I don't know. I think it's just because it's Gogeta. They think that they can just overprice it. All right. Asia would have dropped before this, so it means no standard overseas release for Asia. Namco store number. So this is in actual Namco arcades. 75 Legends Trunks and 0 of the BOS Gogeta GTWCF and Super Saiyan Trunks. That is crazy. The boy Trunks getting all that love there. Ooh, okay. So it looks like that the homies at DBZ Figures were correct about the Gigantic series. I'm not sure where this image comes from, but it does indeed look like that this is going to be the pose of Goku carrying Kid Gohan. I might just have to get that if it looks this good. The Gigantic series is only be getting better as time goes on with their face sculpts, and this looks really good. I was very tempted to get the Omen Goku. I don't know, bro. That's a pretty good looking figure, I think. We'll have to see when more final images come out of this. I'm actually going to retweet that. That's actually pretty cool. I was literally thinking we need a new Goku and Gohan figure. It looks like we got one. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that eventually turns out. Oh, look, more pictures. Oh, that's so cool. They have him actually holding on to Goku's shirt in the sculpting. That's sick. Gohan looks great. I love the expression on his face. It's so funny. Goku looks pretty good too. And here is, wow. Wow, that looks really good. Goku's face looks like a hair off, to be honest. Gohan looks perfect. It also could just be my eyes tricking themselves because the eyebrows are black and the rest of the figure is gray. That could be tripping me up about Goku's face. I honestly think that's it. I'm probably going to get this, bro. That's really good. I'm going to retweet that too. Wow. I can't believe that, bro. That's actually really cool. I am very, very excited to see that they are doing a lot more Kid Gohan and Goku stuff there. Oh, wow. That's cool. They're doing Pangu 40th anniversary figures. That's sick. From Japan, of all things. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Nice seeing DBS promo series art in characters which have actual noses. Yeah, that's true. Some of the art has been kind of stinky lately, so it's good to see that. Surprised by the attention to detail on the front side of the eye catch, the high V-neck of Goku's gi, the loose obi belt, and Gohan's long hair. Yeah, so Gohan actually does have long hair under the hat, which is a nice detail. And obviously the V-cut is not as deep as later Dragon Ball, so it's very cool to see that they actually did pay attention to those details. It shows that Bandai is actually trying. So the US isn't getting the DAs, unlikely. Europe will either, Europe won't either, rather. My gut is thinking that there will be some kind of ratio shenanigans, 3 Vegito, 3 Blue, 3 Raditz, and then 1 from a shotgun. Ideally, Vegeta's being rare would be great since I doubt anyone would care. That is true. And here we go. The release so far. Japan, full ICHIBAN Kuji, obviously. Asia, full ICHIBAN Kuji, no standard overseas release. Australia, full Ichiban Kuji. US standard release, A, B, C, and D prize figures, no Chaozu or the DA. Europe waiting on information probably next week. I'm going to have to import that Chaozu, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna have to import that, man, ASAP. Interesting, interesting. A lot of UI stuff becoming boring now. I do wish Yamamura brought the loose belt back in the DBS series. All this UI merch would have been at least had the funness of the Obi belt. I do love the belt sculpt, and Tokumatsu's Transcendence UI Goku one is amazing. That's true. This figure is absolutely fantastic, and I do really like the belt on it. It would be cool, but oh well. It is what it is. All right. Let's keep on keeping on here. US stores are out of stock for some of them for Vegito. Interesting. I'm still so confused. I've never seen a figure go from low interest to out of stock in levels of interest within the space of a few weeks. Sculpt does look good, but I thought the Western fans would have been all over the FES Super Saiyan Goku. I honestly think it's partially just because it's Legends. And I mean, to be fair, this Vegito is quite popular in the game. Better look at the rectangular rare UI sticker. Such a cool concept. Easily the best gimmick introduced, and hope it isn't a one-off. Wow, that is really cool. I like that a lot. I believe this is like one of those scratchy bookmarks that you had as a kid where like you turn it and then the image looks different. I think that's what this is because that looks like the same material. Yeah, because you can kind of see the other hair of the other form of Goku in the background there. That's definitely what that is. Yeah, you can see it there too. That is sick. That's really, really cool. Oh, ABY Dragon Radar Cushion with different sounds. These guys make a lot of miscellaneous Dragon Ball merch, but some of their stuff is pretty cool. So I won't doubt that that actually ends up pretty cool. GEA have updated the status of some of the Tournament and Power Pins, Universe 6 Girls and Jiren as available. No idea when they are actually available though. Also new plushes from Super Saiyan Broly and Bardock from DBS. Broly coming soon from GEA, but no images yet. That'll be interesting to see what those look like. Jiren looks kind of fat. That doesn't really look like muscle. It kind of looks like he has some fat rolls there. And a UAE store has listed the Dokkan 6th anniversary SP reward as 17 cm. The current image they have is a placeholder from last year's Dokkan Kuji. The heights from the other figures from the Kuji are listed as accurate. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, even here, bro, it says Ultra Instinct. So, I mean, we already knew it was Ultra Instinct Goku, but, like, this is just even more evidence. I'm actually gonna, like that so I can DM that to myself later. Just like the Super Saiyan God Onion from the Legends collab, it looks like the SP reward only release in Europe and UAE. Though I am curious if a standard SP would be a reward alone or the last one with the effects. Yeah, because we know that the last one version is going to be a UI Goku, and it is going to be just one with effects. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Yeah, so this was one thing from the stream 2 nights ago. First, I thought the STBH 10th anniversary UI box was a fake. Turns out it's not. Wow, that's probably the most amateurish packing I've seen. I can agree with that. It is pretty stinky packaging. Although the fact that there's no DBS logo present, yeah, that also kind of indicates maybe fake, because that's what Bandai loves to do nowadays. But it is interesting, though, that this is one of the only things that they're doing for merch for STBH. This figure does look really good, though. I will say we've seen some images of this guy floating around for a long time now. There is another version of this guy. I don't know if Baggy posted about it. I'll see if I can't find an image of it or something, but this figure does look pretty good. And I love the sculpting on the actual shirt with the rips and stuff like that. Fun and hilarious, the DBH had more merch rollout for the 9th anniversary than the 10th. Luckily, because here merch flopped as per usual. Probably why we're getting a Game Station exclusive figure, no cash sponsor candy. That's true. Unfortunately, a lot of the Dragon Ball Hero stuff last year. Dokkan Battle. What? I didn't know that was even on the Pro Show. This is from last year, so don't get too excited. But nonetheless, though, kind of makes sense, all things considered, because obviously SDBH merch doesn't always do as well. Just kind of interesting. Kind of interesting, all things considered. I think that is basically it in terms of everything that we got. Wow, that was a long video. We got like an hour and 10 minutes out of that one. That was crazy, bro. Holy cow. Thank you guys so much for watching, of course. Really, really appreciate you as per usual. It'll be interesting to see what we have upcoming in the world of Dragon Ball figures. Obviously, there is a ton of great stuff coming down the pipeline. Of course, we have the March Kuji with... Honestly, bro, I could literally not be more excited for this. Like, every time they do something crazy for the Ichiban Kuji, I'm always all for it. Like, they did the... sorry, I'm trying to find something else in the background. I'm getting distracted. I'm trying to find the picture of the other Goku figure for you guys. It's always crazy, you know, when they kind of go out of line and do something that, like, is something that a lot of people really, really like and are really, really excited for. You know, like they did with the Grade A Vegeta figure. Obviously, everybody was like, whoa, when they did that. Obviously, these figures look fantastic, and we never get Z-Fighters. I know I've said that like 5 times at this point, but it's still really, really cool to see. Obviously, it's kind of cool to see as well that we're getting figures of the eye catch and the transition scene from Dragon Ball Z. It'll be interesting as well to see if they do continue with that trend, because of course there are plenty of great scenes from Dragon Ball Z that do have different eye catches and stuff like that. I would absolutely love if they did do more stuff like that. And I do believe I have the picture of the Goku here. This is going to be literally from my live stream of the event. So excuse me if there is a little bit of, you know, well, other stuff on the screen besides just the picture of the figure here. But that UI Goku figure that we saw, and we've seen pictures of it before. I'm trying to get to the exact point. I apologize. It's taken me a minute. Is a chrome version of the figure. Here we go. So right here we have the Goku. Obviously you can see this is the image that we saw before, but we do have this version of the figure, which looks really, really cool. I don't know what else to call this besides a chrome version. I apologize if there is a technical term for this. You can let me know in the comment section, all things considered. Bro, you can literally see my reaction to that version of the figure right there on screen. I popped off, bro, because that looks really cool. And I love that they made the hair white, obviously referencing MUI. All things considered, even though I think in terms of looking good with the rest of my figures, I think the colored version would look pretty good. But, man, being able to have that on the shelf is really cool. Because that's a great looking version of this figure. So I will probably try and cop that, if anything. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, none the less, though. I will see you in 2 weeks again for another figure news video. Of course, again, unboxings and stuff like that are coming up this week. Again, too, if you would like to support me on Patreon as well and stuff like that for all the stuff I do on the channel and for figure unboxings and stuff like that too, you can definitely go to the link in the description and do that. I'm trying to, you know, maybe be able to do 2 figure unboxings a week, be able to afford that and have that go up on the channel. So that would be awesome if I could eventually get to that goal, but that's a very long-term thing. But nonetheless, though, hope you guys enjoyed the figure news nonetheless. I'm very excited for everything coming down the pipeline. Man, literally when I saw this, I'm not even gonna lie, it made my existence. I'll catch you guys in the next one. DA out. Peace.